All right.
And what's your first name?
Karen.
And you're half hour, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, have I ever read you before?
No, I came to one of your classes, and I was able to talk with one of your students for 5 minutes.
Okay.
No.
So, but not me.
Not
you. Haven't had a reading
No.
with me. Okay. So, let me tell you what I do, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
I talk to people who passed away.
Right.
And I do psychic stuff. So, like where you're stuck, how to get unstuck with your spirit guides and angels.
Okay.
Do you have a preference?
More than medium.
Mediumship.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to tune in and see what I'm getting.
Okay.
And we have a half hour. So if like in the first 5 minutes, I'm getting people, but it's not the person that you are looking for, all I need is a first name.
Okay.
And then on it. But as I do this, I prefer less information.
Right. Validate.
Yeah. But if I'm like, oh, it's really quick and it's here in my heart, you can say, yes, it was a heart attack. You know, like,
right.
like that's okay, but not. All right.
You don't want to hear the whole story.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the
Okay.
I don't. It's not that I don't want to hear it. It's just that I want to give you
and it helps you too. Right. I understand.
Yeah. Because then I don't judge too. Then I'm not like, ooh, that means this.
Right.
Okay. All right. So hold on here just a second. So I actually feel a couple of people coming through for you.
Mm-hmm.
One of them feels closer to you in age.
Yes.
And I feel like the one closer to you in age went very suddenly.
Yes.
And I feel like they're also telling me they're one of the main people that you wanted to talk to today.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Okay. And is this a guy?
No.
It's a female? Okay, then was she really strong-willed? Does that make sense? Like, I'm getting masculine energy.
Yeah,
when
I
I'm
can
tuning
see that.
into her.
Yeah.
It just isn't like a delicate flower.
No.
It's
not
not what
at
I'm
all.
getting with her at all.
No.
Okay. But she's telling me it's kind of very tragic and quick how she dies. And she's telling me, though, she keeps honoring her relationship with you as someone being very close to her, like a sister or best friend or something. And she says that, all right, you talk to her a lot. And she says, we talk all the time. And she's telling me that, but is your mom still living?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because she keeps saying she wants to give a message for your mother as well.
We have different mothers, so her mother or my mother.
It's her mother still
Okay,
living.
yeah.
It's for her. It's
Okay.
for her mom.
For
But
her.
she says that you would talk to her.
Yeah.
So it's not. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a stretch.
No.
But she's telling me though that. Okay, I keep feeling like she's saying that she has some like responsibility or accountability in her passing. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Uh-huh.
And but like not completely. Like it doesn't seem like it's. She says there's some mitigating factor or something else that's weighing into this. So it's like I have some responsibility, but you know, like sometimes there could be like drugs or alcohol involved or medications that kind of skew someone's perception of the world. So
Yes.
she says there's this type of stuff, but I have accountability or responsibility, but then showing me drugs or alcohol kind of connection. But also I'm getting mental health kind of stuff too. So was she kind of feeling depressed or
I
down?
think so.
Because
yeah.
she keeps saying she's all over the place.
She was on a
is
roller
what it feels
coaster,
like.
definitely.
And she's telling me though that you tried to help her, is what she says. She says my sister was always trying to help me, and she says that sometimes you would see progress and you get all happy, and then she'd just go back. As she kept,
Yeah.
she said she just kept sliding back.
Yeah.
And she's telling me that is there also children for her? Does that make sense? She have
No,
kids?
I have 3 children, but
Was she close to your kids?
Yeah, very.
Okay. And is your oldest a girl?
yeah.
And she keeps talking about being close to the girl, the oldest girl, and that she's still really struggling with this, the oldest girl, with the
Okay.
loss of her aunt
Yeah.
or something. But your other kids, she says I'm connected to them as well. But she just keeps talking about the oldest girl and that she keeps things inside
Mhm.
and that she wants to let you know that she knows what's going on with her and keeping an eye on her is what she's telling me. Now I keep feeling like are you is there something significant about that necklace?
It's hers. It was hers.
Okay. And so I'm like sitting here like, what is the thing with the necklace? And then I look
Hers.
at you. Okay. And so she's just honoring that you're wearing her necklace. And she's also telling me that she's do you have some of her clothes? Does
Yeah.
that make sense? And she says that you wear them sometimes. Does that make sense?
Bottoms,
She's teasing. She says, I didn't say that was okay, but she's laughing when she's saying it. But she
I
says
felt
that you
weird
wear
about
her
it,
clothes.
but it is so comforting.
She says she wears my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also telling me that, now is she cremated? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there, though, something about she's in two different places or separated? Does that make sense? Or it could be that her ashes were spread. That could
No,
also
I think
be
the
it.
ashes are still at home.
So, but did somebody get, like, why do I feel like there's a little piece out? So, did somebody, like, have a necklace made or give somebody else ashes? Or I just keep feeling like a separation of the ashes.
Not that I know of.
Okay. But you would know, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know why she keeps saying that. She keeps saying two separate places or two things with ashes. So that, I don't know what that is, but
Okay.
I'll leave it with you.
Okay.
And then where's your recorder?
Right here.
Here, do you want to put it over here so that it catches my sound
Yeah,
better?
absolutely.
Okay. All right. And so, she's also telling me that, so she's really stubborn. Your sister. She says, I was so hard-headed. And she says, though, it's her fault. She's gone. Is what she's telling me, though.
It's my fault.
She says it's her fault. She's gone.
Okay.
And she's saying that, she says you blame yourself for everything. That's it. She goes, oh, she blames herself for everything. But she's telling me, though, that, does she have an issue with addiction?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like this is more about addiction than about you, is what she's telling me. She says this is more connected to her addiction with how she passes, and depression. Like, I feel depression.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually feel like her mood was really almost like a bipolar, like a ecstatic or miserable, but I feel like it was affected by whatever toxic substance she was addicted to. She's telling me, so you laid down the law or something, is what she's saying. Does that make sense? Or you set boundaries with her before she passed?
Before she passed.
She keeps saying there's some stuff there that you feel bad about.
I
Like
should
about,
have
like-
done that
Okay.
more.
But
She did it with me.
She keeps saying, though, that there's some stuff here, though, that you feel bad about around the end of her life, that she keeps saying it's about boundaries, and that's how she's showing it to me.
Okay.
So I know you said she set them with you, but I would say just take a moment later when we're done to contemplate that maybe there's a different way to look at this. Because I do feel like you loved her a lot, and she says that you were doing what you knew how to do, and I feel like there's something here where she says she's got to quit blaming herself. Like, she's just got to stop.
I know what she's talking about.
And she says, like, it's really has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
Is what she's telling me. But she says she's got to quit blaming herself. So that's for you.
Okay.
And she's also saying that there's some type of sign with birds or feathers. And I keep seeing them floating. Feathers floating. Does that make sense?
With them floating?
Or feathers. Something about feathers or birds, or I just keep seeing feathers.
There's
and
4
birds.
feathers in this bag that she sent me.
Okay. If there's feathers in there,
Yeah,
then that's what we're
good.
talking about. Okay.
Yeah, she
Good.
knows I brought the bag. Yeah.
And so she's just kind of honoring that, and she's also telling me that there's one of your kids really creative, like artistic,
yeah.
creative,
Very.
but not the oldest.
No, the middle one.
Okay. And she says, though, that she could always appreciate that.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? She was
Absolutely.
kind of an artist at heart,
Yes.
is what it feels like. And there's all this creativity in her that seems unbridled, or like raw. Kind of like there's a raw artist, or a raw, like that person who's like has that talent, that raw talent, but maybe it never gets developed.
Yeah,
That's what I keep getting with her.
Yeah.
Does that
very,
make sense?
Very much. I think she had way more than she ever developed, but yeah.
And what's with the tattoos? Like, she keeps showing me, so are there tattoos, like,
Did she have tattoos and did somebody get them for her? Okay, then I keep seeing them.
No.
Okay.
Her mother and her 3 best friends and I are all going on a trip at the end of June, and we're all talking about getting
Tattoos while you go. All the
Yes.
same one.
Yes.
Okay. And it's all similar, though.
Forget-me-not
Everyone's going to get the
flowers.
exact same
Yeah.
one. Okay. That's what she's talking about. But she says, though, that does somebody have a drawing or an idea of what they want? And so it's you.
Yeah.
And she keeps talking about the drawing is something she could draw to. Or something like if
That
she...
Carly, my daughter, could draw, or Kim could draw.
I don't know who. I'm not sure
Oh.
who she's talking about.
Okay.
Whether
Yeah.
it's her
No.
or your daughter. But she keeps
We've actually
saying...
talked about her drawing it, so yeah.
The little girl?
Mhm.
Okay, then have the little girl draw it.
Okay.
That's what she keeps saying. The youngest is an artist, something about tattoos, and having somebody draw.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
she may be the one that does it so that everybody has the same tattoo. And
Okay.
I do feel like you said it was you and your sisters and your mom? Or
Her mom and her 3 best friends.
her mom and her 3 best, her sisters. She's
Their
calling
sisters,
everybody her
sure.
sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like, oh, they're all my sisters. When you said friends, she's like, oh, they're all my sisters. But she says though that what she's saying is that she'll be there, and I feel like, are you going someplace really warm
Yeah,
or nice?
The beach.
Yeah. Okay. Like a, but is there a resort
Kind of ish.
there? It's like a, or you guys are going to be on the beach relaxing or
Yes.
something the whole time?
Yes, very much.
And she's saying she'll be there with you, because I feel like that's the type of thing she would have loved to do.
Absolutely.
And I see her. She says, "I'm already there. I can go there anytime I want." And I do feel like she would have loved water. Is
Yeah.
what it seems like. Like, I'm not specifically sure if it's like ocean water or if it's just water in general, but she keeps showing me this connection to water.
She's a fire sign.
And
We all are.
but does she just love the water, like being in the water? Because it seems like that was really her thing. Like, she may have loved to swim or something like that. Now, here's the thing. Her dad is out of the picture or was away from her at the time that she died. Does that make sense?
Our father,
She keeps talking about the dad.
they weren't as close. People weren't talking to her, kind of.
Okay.
So, yeah, they were
Because she
close.
says he was away from her
Okay.
or something. So if he wasn't talking to her, then he was away from her
Right.
or not connected to her. But he has a lot of guilt
Mhm.
about it. And she's saying, let him know I'm okay and that he has nothing to feel bad about. She's kind of like, you got to do what you got to do. That's kind of her attitude about it. Is like, you got to do what you got to do. And I feel like did she take something? Does that make sense? Like, not take something like how she died, but take something from your dad? Does that make sense? Like borrow money from him and never pay it back, or take something from his house and not honor it or something?
I don't know of anything specifically. There's kind of a lot of things it could be.
Okay.
So
She just says, I took from him and I'm sorry about that.
okay.
So I don't know if it's like a metaphor of taking or what, but she wants to honor that. Now, you have a grandma who's in spirit, who's your mom's mom, right? Does that make sense? And she was very sweet. Like, I'm getting a sweetness about her, but a little sassy too, but some sweetness. And she's very nurturing, and I feel like she always loved the little girls, and so she's telling me that the grandma's with her, is what she's acknowledging. She says, I'm being taken care of by grandma. Like, grandma's taking care of me. And she's also telling me that... Now, did your dad leave her family? Or leave the like, why do I feel like she keeps saying that he was gone for a while? Or he wasn't as, like, not just at the end.
He and
keeps
my
saying
mom
she
divorced
left.
when I was 1.
Okay.
And we've never had quite the relationship.
What about him and her, though? Because that's more like what this feels like.
There is an issue of actually who her father is. So
She keeps saying, I feel like she's saying my father left me for a while. Not at the end, but somewhere in the middle there. Like, somewhere in the middle of her life. Like, when she's a teenager or something. Like, he's not there for her. Or not as connected to her, is what she's saying.
gosh, with him, yeah.
I don't know, but she just keeps saying like, I didn't feel as connected to him, or I wasn't feeling it, something like that.
Right.
But there's a lot of love from her to you, because she says she was always trying to take care of me, and she's just telling me that I feel like there was a point where you let her stay with you as well.
I tried to.
Okay. And she's just saying that, I don't know. I also feel like she's a little self-destructive. Does that make sense?
Very much.
Okay. So she's like, she knew what she could handle and what she couldn't. And was she homeless for a while?
No, that was me.
Okay.
She's never been homeless.
It was you who was homeless for a while. Okay. But it was before. Wait a minute. Did you have addiction stuff too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is
It's getting confusing, I know.
all right. This is why she's trying to say something about that, about the addiction stuff, about the being homeless thing. But I think she's talking about you, or telling me about you. And she says that. But was there also like a guy who's like a bad influence?
Yeah.
And he's not around anymore though?
No.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And she says it's good that they're gone, or it's
Yeah.
good. But I feel like they were a bad influence on you,
Mm-hmm.
and also her. That she says like, because it was a bad influence on you, it became a bad influence on her, or something like that. So is she your little sister?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because she keeps saying she looks up to you.
Yeah.
So it's like she sees things and then she copies or something, or does similar things, is what she's telling me. But she says it's not anything to blame yourself for. She just said, there was this guy and he was just a really bad influence. But I feel like she's saying that they're gone now.
About.
And so she's just saying like something like, I looked up to her, we did a lot of the same things, and that she just doesn't ever want you to think that is for you, or like your fault, or something like that, is what she's saying. A lot of love from her as she's coming through, but she says she wants to let you know she's okay. She says that you can stop saying you're sorry. Because she tells me, she says I'm sorry all the time. And she says you can stop doing that. You have nothing to apologize for. It does seem like she keeps saying she did it to herself. So is it suicide or overdose?
We don't know.
Okay.
It's been very recent, so there's still a lot of question.
Well, whatever it is, it's her fault. And she says that she's either high or drunk or something like that when it happens. She's not herself. And I just feel like she wants to let you know that she's doing okay, and that the problems she had are gone. And I see her as some type of artist or creator or something on the other side. She says she's doing great over there. Did she go to rehab at one point?
Yeah.
Okay, and she says it's like an awesome rehab over here, because I feel like she's getting, it just seems like she's very happy.
Good.
And taking care of herself, and the drug stuff and all that depression and everything, she says it's all gone. And she's able to be creative, and she's able to be fun, and she's able to enjoy herself, and she just wants to let you know she's doing awesome. But she says that you're not. And she says that she keeps telling me that you're like just hanging on. She says she keeps hanging on to like what you could have done or how you could have changed things.
Yeah.
But really, I don't think there's anything you could have changed or done. And she says you just need to know that and accept that and stop telling her sorry, because I also feel like you want to feel her around you more, like you kind of know she's there, but you're like feeling disconnected.
Yeah.
But the reason you're feeling disconnected is your grief. And so it's like this grief and this guilt kind of feeling get in the way of your connection with your sister.
Okay.
So just know that she doesn't feel like you have anything to say you're sorry for. So if you can kind of move or shift yourself into a place of wanting the connection and leaving the guilt behind, I think like that would be helpful, and you'll be able to feel her more around you.
Okay.
Because you're actually really intuitive. They're just saying your spirit guides are saying your problem's always been you don't trust yourself.
Right.
You put your trust in other people and you don't put it in yourself. So I feel like your sister's saying, in order for you to really, truly kind of connect with her, or be with her, or whatever, it's like you've got to let some of the guilt go, because it just stands in your way. It's not helping you, and it's just weighing you down, and it's not even true. Like, it's just not even true, is what she's telling me.
Okay.
Lots of love from her. She's with your grandma. She keeps saying, I'm with grandma. And then, did that grandma, like... Okay, is this the dad's mom? Does that make sense? Or is this your mom's mom?
My mom's mom.
Okay, but did your sister know that lady?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
just from growing up with me, but that's
So your grandma's there, but she keeps saying she's with grandma. So is her other grandma?
Oh yeah,
passed
her
away.
Mama Red. Yeah.
Okay. She keeps saying, I'm with grandma. And now,
Okay.
is that the sassy one?
Yeah,
that
she's
one.
more sassy.
She's, okay, and she's got a little,
It was
and
her
the-
mom's mom.
her
so that
mom's
makes
mom,
more
yeah.
sense, yeah.
and she's also saying, though, that she would have died, like, many years ago. Like, that isn't at all recent for her grandma. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Oh yeah.
So she's just saying, she was over here for a long time before I got over there. But I keep hearing someone say they're your grandma. And I think that was the other lady that I was talking to
Okay.
earlier. That's your grandma. But your sister's saying, I'm with grandma. Her
Okay.
grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all doing okay. She really loves you. She just doesn't want you to feel bad anymore. I feel like that's important. And did you have a cat that died? Or like a cat you took care of that kind of disappeared? Looks like a cat.
No, I am allergic to cats.
I am allergic to them too, but every once in a while, there's like, it's like a black, grimy looking cat. It has a little, like, white here, but it's like this grimy
Okay.
looking cat, and you took care of this cat.
I didn't take care of it. It was when I was there for the funeral. The cat kept coming up next to me and staying with me, but they said they did that to everyone, and then it got locked out, and I was like, oh my god, I just locked my sister out. I don't know why I thought my sister was the cat. But
Do you know what she's talking about
No.
then?
besides that, no.
Okay, but when was that? When
During
was
the funeral.
Okay, I think that's her funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had some black grimy cat with
Yeah.
like white hair
It
rubbing
sounds-
up against you.
yeah.
Whatever that is, she's acknowledging. So maybe it's not on the other side, but she just keeps acknowledging something about this cat. So
That drove me
perhaps
crazy.
the reason it was over there is like your sister telling the cat to go over there, because it's something that she's just being really specific. It looked kind of dirty, or something about the fur. I don't know if it's greasy or
I barely remember the cat.
grimy, but white. A little white, mostly dark color. But she's just letting you know that whatever that happened with that cat, she was trying to get your attention.
Okay.
But she's doing okay where she is. And she wants to let you know that she loves you. You're a good sister. Stop beating yourself up over things. And just look for more signs that she's around. If you have 4 feathers in a bag, I wouldn't be surprised if you start finding feathers. That's also a sign.
Okay.
From
I
her.
just pulled this bag out too. I forgot I even had it.
Well, that and the necklace. She talked about the feather, and she talked about her necklace that you brought. So
I have a my mentor died 4 days
First
after
name?
Sue.
okay.
4 days after my sister.
Older than you, though.
Yeah.
Does that make
yes.
sense? Okay.
16.
She had illness, though. Would you understand that?
We didn't know
Okay.
that if she
She has something going on in her, like a heart disease or lung disease, something.
Okay.
Maybe it's undiagnosed.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But she's telling me, though, she helped you over the hill.
Yes.
And she's just kind of, or over the bump.
Yeah.
And she says she stuck by you
Yeah.
through it. And I feel like she's a little bit of a hard ass
Kinda.
sometimes when she needed to be.
Exactly.
She said she was. And she's telling me that you talk to her a lot. She says when you struggle, you're always talking to her. And she says she's always there. She didn't stop. You called her a mentor, but I would call her more like a sponsor. Like that type of thing is what
we
it
did
feels
a
like.
12-step program together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's almost like what it feels
Yeah.
like she is, even in spirit though. So even when you talk to her and connect with her, she says, I'm still always there for her. But expect that if you're doing something she doesn't like, she will let you know.
Okay.
I just feel like that's just the type of lady she
Yes,
is.
she will.
And she says, I will let her know. But I feel like right now she's just saying that she's with you for the struggle. She says that you're still struggling a lot with the loss of your sister. And she just wanted to let you know that she's been here for you. Because she's telling me that she died after your
4
sister.
days.
But
It was really, really.
she says you didn't
close.
really talk to her in that time. Or you
No.
didn't really get a chance to talk to her in that
I
time.
needed to so
And
badly.
she says you didn't reach out or something. So I just feel like, just so you know, I don't feel like she would have been available.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on with her. It does seem kind of quick, but
It
I
was.
keep feeling like there's illness inside of me that's undiagnosed or something.
That makes sense.
So just know she's also okay.
Okay.
And she's over there too. And they all love you. So you got fans on the other side and a grandma.
Okay.
But, be kind to yourself. Addiction's really hard, as you know. You've had your own issues with it, and people make mistakes, and that's just life, and you just got to kind of keep moving forward. But your sister's with you, so's your Sue, so's your grandma, so's some other random grandma that's also
Mom
over
Ray.
there for the other one. So they're all there for you, and you have support from all these women. I noticed no men came through. It's all women.
I can't even think of him. I have very little experience with death, honestly. So my grandfather would be the only.
See, and I didn't even get your grandma. It's all ladies around
Yeah.
you. So I feel like, though, there's something here about you reaching out for the support of women. Or, like, that's really kind of where
Can
it's
I
at
ask
for you.
a question?
Sure.
Am I doing the right thing with Carly? Letting her go to the center? Should I be doing it more to church?
Whatever she's doing, it's more free for her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Okay.
Your spirit guides are saying you're giving her the opportunity to have freedom. And that is awesome. You said something with church, and somebody went like that. And I was like, okay. So I don't necessarily think that would be
Church is
helpful or
gonna
work.
Okay.
Because she is too, like, she questions authority.
Yeah.
And she would totally question someone, like a churchy kind of thing. She would, no, that doesn't make sense. No,
Okay.
that doesn't work for me. Whatever she's doing now just seems more open and gives her freedom to think and make up her own mind. So that is definitely the right thing, whatever you're doing right now.
Okay.
Okay? All right, we're at a half hour.
Okay.
I'll give you this back.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.